All right. Welcome back to No Filter MMA. This is your boy BJ back with another video short, guys. I don't even know what, it took me 2 days to make a video because I don't even really know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so flabbergasted at the fact that the way this fight went down, like the way this played out, like I was just flabbergasted. And I was like, I can't believe, one of the smallest things that Erin said during the lead up to this fight, you know what I'm saying, ended up being the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? When Erin said, when Maycee I don't even know if she'll make it to this fight. When Erin Blanchfield said that, I took it with a grain of salt. Let me put it like that. I took it with a grain of salt. I was like, that's just Erin Blanchfield talking smack. You know what I'm saying? She's just talking smack to lead up to the fight, yada, yada. It is what it is. She's just making fun of the fact that Maycee Barber has had to pull out, of multiple fights and didn't think much else about it, And then, you get that pit feeling in your stomach, when a fight that you've been talking about and anticipating for so long, is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's like, especially if it's a main event or like a co-main event, and it's especially if it's far up the card like that. You know what I'm saying? You've been watching the whole card, watching some good fights go down, and then that moment comes, and I'm thinking, maybe it was a production slip up, or, I'm sitting there like, what? They played a little package and they got the camera on the door, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, okay, Maycee, you're the underdog. Where you at? The underdog walks out first, and nothing. And I said, oh, and it was like instantly to my brain, the first thing I thought of was Erin Blanchfield said she's not gonna make it to the fight, and look at here. And it's just so crazy, man. It's just so crazy that, with the initial shock of Maycee not making it to the fight, settling into my brain, I started to think, what was the reason why she didn't fight? Because fighters miss weight all the time and still make it to the fight. So what's the reason why she's not actually making it to the fight? And then I started to put two and two and two and two and two together. And this is what I came up with. Does anybody notice anything different about Maycee Barber here? And I noticed it right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man, Does anybody notice anything different about Maycee Barber here? I mean, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's talking about it. There's some things on Maycee Barber's chest that wasn't always there. You know what I'm saying? And whether you want to spin it, whether you want to cook it, UFC fans, we know who got tits and who don't have tits. Let's just be real. We know who does and we know who doesn't. Okay? But this way in, there were things there that weren't there in the past. Okay? And who does that remind you? And then all of these health concerns and infections and missing weight and things that are going on and pulling out of a fight and stuff that Maycee Barber's had, this mystery illness. Does that remind you of anybody? Do these things remind you? These two new things that she got on her chest, and the fact that she has this undisclosed illness and infection and was on all these antibiotics. Does that jog your memory? Didn't us WMMA fans go through and hear another story that was very similar to this? If you don't remember, here's your reminder. My girl, Alpha Cat Zingano. Went through the exact same thing. Pulling out of fights, not knowing what's going on with her body, on antibiotics, on all types of medicine, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. We have no answer. We heard all the same stuff from Cat Zingano. And you guys seen what Cat Zingano had to do in order to get better, right? You guys seen what Cat Zingano had to do in order to get better. You know, and sometimes things like that are just not made for everybody. You know, they're just not made for everybody. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that that's what's going on with Maycee Barber, but it sure as hell, the timing of it sure as hell sounds very familiar, and the timing of it surely makes sense. You know, I really just hope that Maycee Barber, I really want to wish Maycee Barber like a really, you know, speedy recovery. I hope that she gets better. I hope that she gets, you know, back in fighting shape, and you know, it can recover and can recover her name. Her name is the biggest thing that's being tarnished here. You know, her name and her reputation, and the fact that this was the fight, you know, that this was the fight that they both wanted, and the UFC wanted this fight, and there was a lot of bad blood between this fight, and there was going to be a lot of proving grounds in this fight, and this is a fight that she could have won. This is a fight that Maycee Barber could have won and made a statement and put herself in a great position. But she lost that opportunity. And I really hope that what we just talked about is not the reason why she pulled out of this fight. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA. Drop those comments in the comment section. Hit that like, hit that dislike. And if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And your boy is out.